all right. Shalom, shalom. We made it. We slid right on in here, and I think this time, hopefully, we won't have any hiccups. I know last week we had to get off. Well, we started live, and then we ended up go ahead and we kept going, and so we don't know what it was, but it cut off, and I didn't want to take a chance of just losing it altogether. So I like to do. I like to be live. You know, I like those things because it's like it's so organic to me. You know, in that, and so I just honor and praise the Father and thanking him for that. But I like that. But in the future, I think we was talking, and we was gonna get the little ones to that we may have to pre do them, you know, because sometimes yeah they may wander off and all of that. So
Yes.
I don't know, maybe sometime maybe at the end. I think you said Malachi was with you. But we want to. I want to be able to get group them together, and I think that'll be good for us in the future when we bring. Because I want to, you know, do this more regularly and bring different ones on, because I know that you know you guys have gifts, and to have others to partake of those gifts would be good, and then the process of being built up. So that's always good too, in that. And I think we say the best for last. I think we last week, of course, you was in the emergency room in that, and so go ahead and introduce yourself there before we get started, and then we'll jump right on in here.
Yes, sir. Well, shalom, family, and shalom, everyone. My name is Karika Brown, and I am the preschool teacher at the Benai Academy. Um, I go to Benai. I've been there for, I want to say, maybe going on 5 years. Yeah, and I'm Sydney's wife.
Oh, okay. I see. So you own one of those. You own a husband. You got one of
Yes,
those.
yes.
Yeah. Now Sid is the one that usually be here riding shotgun with me in that. So I am glad to have you. But I think I had just mentioned before you introduce yourself to the fact that you was at the emergency room, and you know you don't have to go into any details, but you get a chance. I'm gonna let you you know talk more. We did talk a lot about the school and different things about the homeschool, and how those that are coming together and working together in that portion of the homeschool, and we have even faith because I guess you know I could say it this way of the situation. She homeschools at well, right? But because we know the things in her own life, and it's better for her to do the way that she's doing. I believe that's maybe what it is. It could be something different, but surely that's things that in that, and even those that are. I think I mentioned we have even had teachers. So we think the more excellent way, of course, is the homeschooling, but we're not, you know, wherever you find yourself at, then that's what you know would do. But we have seen the fruit from it, and I am glad for that. So and so I didn't want to. If I knew if you was feeling better, I wanted to get you on there because you are a part of that. And one of I would call we have the pillars that hold things up, and I think you could be in that neighborhood of building that up, having the pillar of that in that. So I'll even hold you dear to my heart, and in that. So you know, and so I'm grateful that you had a chance to at least be here with us. Now, one time what we'll do, and I know that you guys got about what 10 children over there. What
Yes, sir. I like to say 16.
you like to say 15? So so the four feel like 15, huh?
Yes, sir.
And they all doing that, and maybe along the way here, I asked you a couple of questions like I did the others, and along the way, we want to encourage those though uh, that have a family, and sometimes it get tough, and then sometimes it's easy, and maybe if you feel wherever you feel like the areas that you wanted to share in, then I want you to be able to do that. And you want to do that, of course, see it, yeah, yeah, okay, all right, he's going to put something in there as well. We'll catch him in that, so it's all good. Well, we'll start off with even the toughest one. What are some of the tough challenges you face along the way? And then maybe how did you overcome some of those challenges that you had?
Hmm. Well, um, I mean, to get more clarity, I should say, on how you want me to approach the question, do you mean from a parenting standpoint or just walking in the things of the Father?
Okay, okay, and that's good, and I'm glad you asked me that because I think we was talking earlier. But you can if you can incorporate both of them, and then that'll be fine too. In that. So let's that's good that you do that. I just tell you, you awesome. I may have to fire Sid and this. So go ahead and start with the parenting, and then you can kind of, because that's one of the things that those that have the children and those things that if they could have a closer ear to what you have to say, and then it only in encouragement, the things that you can encourage them with, and that's how you want to take it in that they are not alone, and sometimes it be like that. So the heart of the challenges that you have along this walk, and in parenting, of course, they're all together. But I am glad that you mentioned it and put it out like that. That way, it could be clarified. So.
Yes, sir. I'll do my best. And I just thank you, Moray, for letting me be here because you are very near and dear to my heart. So it's really cool that I get to be here. I'll do the best that I can to try to, mesh the two together to paint a clearer picture. Um, for me, being a parent in Messiah, there are a lot of obstacles and challenges that we face, just us parenting, period, and then parenting in Messiah, the world's influences, and the way that I seek or try and strive to overcome them is by leaning on the advice, the counsel that I receive from you and other parents, especially Mama G, at the assembly, because I don't want to parent like the world, and I'm noticing the trends where almost anything go, especially with my generation. It's kind of like, oh, let them be free and let them do whatever they want to do, and it's easy to fall in that because as parents, you want your children to be emotionally stable when they become adults, but I can also see the destruction behind that. That is not going to build these children into being emotionally stable. What it's doing is just building a false reality that everything revolves around how they feel, and what they want and what they think. And so a challenge that I've really been striving to overcome is teaching my children truth is truth. No matter how you feel about it, no matter what you think about it, you can't change it, because I noticed that if 1 + 1 is 2, then they'll try to rebuttal you and say, no, it's 3. I believe it's 3. And I think it's just the nature of children. But as parents, especially in the father, we have to stand firm on what is truth as the lines start to really get blurred, in different areas as our children are maturing and growing up in a world that is going to be so far removed from the Father and the things of the Messiah. Just trying to get them to understand truth is truth no matter what. And the Torah for us is truth. I have found great joy in serving Yahweh. I have found great success in serving Yahweh. Not every day is peaches and cream, and we're just happy and rainbows and sunshine. We do have tears, and we do have those days where you want to give up, but just knowing that the Father is there encouraging us through all of y'all, it makes it easier, and knowing that I'm doing my best to live out the word by teaching them the word and being an example. I'm so grateful I've learned that because that's another obstacle is being an example. Growing up, I would hear people say, oh, you shouldn't do this, but they're doing it. And so you're watching them do it, and then you're like, well, you're doing it. Why I can't do it? And then you find yourself doing the same things when you grow up. And it's kind of like, well, why am I doing this? But we kind of mimic what we see. I do believe that that's just how we were created, and that's why we need examples. We need a leader. And so, us parents being the leader of the home, we really do have to practice what we preach. And I try to take that down to, me, Maury. I always tell you, I'm starting with the simple. Make that bed
Yeah.
every day.
Hmm.
Because if I desire for you to make your bed every day, I would want for you to come and see my bed made every day.
Hmm.
And that's just the simplest form. Like if I'm going to tell you we need to eat clean, then I need to eat clean. If I'm going to tell you we should observe the Shabbat, we should honor the Shabbat, we should love the Most High, then I should be living that way. So that's another obstacle that comes into this walk of just really enduring every day to walk it out, to live it, and then just to teach them that truth is truth. No matter what, we cannot change what's already been written, set
Hmm.
in stone
Hmm.
for us. And we just need to adapt to it, obey it, and do it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's beautiful. In that, can you tell us about any specific moment or experience that you had that made a big impact on your life? But besides your husband, I know that's the first thing that came to your mind. But it. But just kidding. Whatever that might be, what was one of the changes that was really an outstanding moment for you?
Honestly, I mean, I have a lot of them. Even starting in Christianity, because I came out of like literally nothing, being very secular. And so, even coming into, well, when I was a Christian and believing in that way and different systems and different beliefs, just the little nuggets. I love how our sister Valencia says that about the nuggets. But looking back, just seeing like the different nuggets, once I was reading, and what really changed my life was when I read the scripture with the man who was sitting next to the pool and he wanted to be healed. And he said he didn't have anybody, to put him in the pool. And then, y'all don't beat me up if I mess it up. But Messiah was like, you're healed. Do you want to be healed? That was the question. Do you want to be
Yeah.
healed? And so I said out of my mouth, like, yes, I do want to be healed. And then that very evening, listening to a podcast of, the faith at the time. And the speaker had said, do you want to be healed? And it had nothing to do with the book or anything that I was reading that morning, and then even coming into Torah, where when my husband came home and he said, I think we're doing this wrong. And I remember just standing there like, okay. He was like, I was listening to this man and he said we not supposed to be eating pork. And I was just standing there like, but I thought all things were made clean, and but I couldn't really say it with such a conviction that I was 100% correct. So, I wouldn't pray. I was like, Father, could you please show me? And I'll never forget, I went to Luke and I read, and it said Elizabeth was walking in all the commandments and statutes or
Yeah.
righteousness blamelessly. And I was like, this is in the New Testament, this is right here, and I
Right.
just was blown. So those were some life-changing moments, and then some where when I wasn't living so right, I can look back and see where he, the Almighty Father, just really made it known, like, you are not living right, you need to change. And so I just thank him. That is why I want to serve him and really strive to want to be a person of righteousness, because I'm like, all of the love that he's poured out over all these years, just to get me here and perfectly wherever else he want to take me, it's it is life changing when you just look back, you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What are some of the lessons that you have learned, on this walk or this journey, that you think could help others as well? If through different situations that you go through. So you went through something, and then if you would, because like you say, there's so many things that you could say, but what are some of the things that you have went through that could help someone else?
The excuse me, the number one thing I would say to someone in this walk, and even someone considering this walk, with all humility, to not think you know it all, to not be like, just lean on what you already know, to not just rest in that. Because what if you are wrong about what it is that you think and that's how I was. I came in very arrogant, because I read, like, you I love how you said I knew two scriptures. So I was on fire. I was like, I know, and I know, and this, that, and then
Yeah.
when you sat down and you was just like, what does that have to do with your life, your walk? And I was like, what are you talking about? But that question stuck with me, and I have truly learned to just be humble. And I would say to anyone, like I said, on this walk and this journey, it's not to throw out everything that you have learned, just put it on the shelf, but having great leadership that truly does love Yah and love listen, just take the time to listen, and then pray, and then wait for the Father to answer you, because he will. He will let you know it when you are wrong. Just be okay. It doesn't take anything from you. It doesn't mean that you're less than. It doesn't mean that you never had a relationship with him. It's
Hmm.
just that he wants to correct us to get us to where he wants us to be. So I would just suggest humility, just being humble, and having a teachable heart, and just being willing to store up that wisdom. I even said that this week. I mean, she, I don't know her belief or anything, but just sitting there listening to the dental hygienist, and I told her, thank you for that wisdom that you just shared, just being humble and not thinking that, well, I know it already. I didn't read it all, because it's so much more to the Most High that, I don't think we'll ever comprehend in our lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. Uh, uh, Let me see here. Let me see what the next one is. Do you have any people that you looked up to, or you admire, that influence your choices that you have made, and different guidance in your life and different things like that?
Yes, sir. I truly do. So, I mean, anybody who goes to Benai already know, you and Mama G. But something I also learned is everyone else in the assembly I've learned a great
Yes.
deal from. And
Yeah.
that's why I love Torah study, because I get to hear everyone's heart. Sometimes I'm trying to jot down, what someone shares just about their personal life, but I genuinely lean on you and Mama G, and your understanding and your walk and your sincerity with the Father. I truly admire, and I'm just like, oh, Abba Yah. I pray to be there one day on that side, to be able to be an example that's actually living it. And it doesn't mean that you're perfect. We're not trying to be, oh, everything is,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
example, I actually see it, and I've never seen something like that before. So I'm like, I just praise y'all for all the examples that he gives us at Benai, including you and Mama G.
Oh man,
I
I'm
mean,
I'm a, I'm pay you good. I've been paying you good.
yeah.
Like one of the things I want to interject when you it just how, like you were saying, the assembly works together. And even through the hiccups, I call them, we still kind of work together, and truly we all learn from one another. And I'm grateful for that. When if I sit back and then look into the support, that how you help each other, and then one is over here sick, this one needs that one needs to just had a baby, that one, and how it just works together. seamlessly, and that is very, very important in that. And so I am so glad that you said that, even when we sharing one another's life. And I think that's what's important. That is, it's not so much of the, it's just a set religion, but we sharing one another's life, and in that sharing of that life, we serve the Most High together. And so I think, as to see that on display, it's very, very, I mean, if I wish, I know that there are those that work and can't always say be here and different things, but if I could get everybody on here, it would be really something, and so maybe in the future we can get more, but I understand that, but we all sort of working together, and sometimes it's sort of hard to explain, because in the middle of that, like I say, we have those hiccups. But man, what's impressive is how we allow the Father, all of us allow the Father to heal our hearts, and to have mercy, compassion with one another, and to do the things that we need to do, and to work together, and that's always something that really, really touches my heart, or something to, to really think about. I think you could say the same thing. We could pick up the phone right now, and if we needed something, I think if all possible, it was somebody in that assembly would be able to help us. And that's a good feeling. And so to
Yes.
to really care about one another and share that life, and become the family of Yah, through that, even though we have extended a family, as it, whether it be blood or whatever, but yet the closeness as possible, those that have a desire and a whole heart to do so, and so I encourage someone to even to build up in that, to experience that. That's wonderful. It's just a wonderful situation in that. So, all right. Another question that I had here: what do you do to stay motivated and strong during difficult times? Are there any strategies or anything like that? Because I know we all have them. So, just wanted to know what some of the things that you do as well.
For me personally, I've thought on this question. It's the only question that I really just kind of
Oh, okay. All right.
and to be 100% honest, what helps me and gets me through most of my tough times. I mean, obviously praying, and having
Yes, yes.
family around, and I mean, Benai is my family. It's not, the assembly, my family, but my husband. I know that sounds so,
No,
cliche.
that's awesome. Woo, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
I had to think on this with Maury honestly, because I said, if Maury asked me that question, I wanted to answer it. And thinking back on actual events in my life, and the one thing that just kept coming back is my husband. Every single time that I struggle or I go through something, because I mean, we all have it in that doubt, like, am I doing enough? Am I this? You have those bad days that you feel horrible, because it's like, okay, man, I really wanted to live up to this scripture today, and I fell here, and he just, but a bang, bang, bang with the encouragement. And I just praise God because,
Hallelujah.
and Christina, oh, I love them so much. You cannot be a negative Nancy around them. And I
Hmm.
am trying with my hardest and earnest effort to get out of a mindset of negativity that I carried in the world, where I looked at everything, how people would say, glass half empty. And it wasn't until recently that I think when we started doing the what was it, the personality test stuff, and I was really shocked. I was like, wow, that really is my mindset. Like, when I was growing up, we called it being a realist, like, oh,
Hmm.
I'm just
Hmm.
being real, you can't really expect good out of the world. You see all the bad going on. But being in the Father, that really equates to a lack of hope. You don't have hope, and I was really hopeless and didn't really have any anything to really hope for. And so I say all that to say now, striving to be more like that, where I'm, replacing those bad thoughts or those negative thoughts, and my husband is just right there. The scriptures right there. I mean, my phone will be blowing up. I praise y'all for that. And that's why I'm so grateful for him. And I love him the way that I do because of him always being there for me in that way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna pull over right there, right? Because it is very important. I think that you would be one as well as others, and since we are here, that say love your husband, and the things is you do have four little ones, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. You have four little ones, and I think that sometimes at a crossroad, when different people they have different areas, like this is a lot. This is gonna be a lot. This is when you have those opportunities, and then many a times that in is encouragement to me when I think things may get a lot or whatever. I can look at the example sometime that you have carried, in that, and it is really really awesome. And I think the motivation of building up. I don't think sometimes we realize if you were to sit back and you look into it, if you was on the outside looking in, one of the things is now you have four little ones, right? So what are the ages?
9, 6, going on 7 next week, 4, and then 1.
Yes, yeah. So you have been busy over 9 years, I guess, right, back to back in that, and yet you are holding those things together, right? And it is a beautiful thing to see in that. Now, not only that, but for those that are here or maybe listening, that may not know, uh, you have four little ones, right? And then what are you doing right now for your education?
Oh, I'm currently in school
Okay,
for finishing up my bachelor's.
right, right. So it has been very easy to have four children and going to college.
Oh boy.
Give us some of those. Give us something to smile about. Give us some of your scenarios in that, because I know. I know. I just want others to know on which part you wanted to share anyway about some of those battles, because you gave the ages, and now you are in college, and you've been in college now for how long? About a year or so.
Yes, sir. You're going on too.
Okay. Okay. All right. So
Yes, sir.
tell us some of the give us a typical day, just a typical day.
Oh,
Just pull one out.
I got
How
to
do you
exit.
do that? How do you do wise minds want to know.
Prayer, a lot of prayer, a lot of coffee, a lot of phone calls with cousins. Boray, please help me. I don't want to snap. Oh, Boray, Papa J. But listen,
Yes.
no, honestly, it is hectic. I would not, I would not, it's hectic. A typical day without us being in school, um, which the benign school I'm very grateful for, because at least they're with my sisters and they're able to be taught, and so I can kind of balance it a little better. But with them being home, oh yeah, it is difficult. I'm not going to lie or sugarcoat it for anyone. I don't believe in doing that because I kind of feel like it gives people a false picture. For me, we kind of just rolling with it. I got one running all around, eating tortillas, dropping it on the floor, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I just mopped that floor, and then I got one over here crying about a doll that And I'm like, girl, just give me 2 seconds to finish typing this paper, And just even this last week, I'm in my last week for my summer semester. And I mean, the last, 3, 4 days, I'm sleeping on the sofa, 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep. I'm drinking a whole lot of coffee that I probably shouldn't be drinking. And I'm typing and going to sleep and waking up and typing. And then, in between, still trying to balance being with them. Just today, I was very grateful for my sister Christina and V taking them out Malachi. And so I still had my 3 little ones, which are, those are the ones where you just twist the little thing in the back and they just go. And so they want to go outside, and I love it, Moray. When little
Yes.
by the way, Holly can say Moray and not mommy yet, but that's okay. That's okay. And so, he knows how to stay outside. So I'm like, outside? And he's like, outside. So, but
Hmm.
outside for us isn't just like, oh, I'm going to sit outside. Then I got to get everything out so they can play with
Hmm.
it, and
Hmm.
then trying to type and still trying to focus, and still trying to maintain that patience because that's what I'm really working on. I'm really working on it because I want them to see, the gentleness and the patience that's supposed to come from a mother that loves them. But my days are very hectic and they stay up pretty late with me, just so they can be on my schedule. And I mean, they're loving it because they're in the back, playing games and coming in, mommy, I'm beating the level. And I'm just like, okay, baby, I just need you to sleep in a little bit more in the morning. So have a good time, but I love it because they're doing life with me, and they're seeing me, hopefully and prayerfully. My prayer is that they're seeing me push through the things that sometimes we say are too hard to do. We try to make an excuse to say, oh well, I quit, I give up, oh it was just too hard. And I want them to know that, no matter how hard it is, you can finish, you can do it. It doesn't have to be college, whatever it is. If you're going to trade school, just even getting your
Hmm.
diploma, just keep pushing and keep working at it because this has been years for me. I've been going to school since my son was 1, and so I would have to start and stop and start and stop. And, just I'm just pushing, but my days are hectic and crazy and chaotic. And I am grateful if we all eat. We got clean clothes on and the papers get typed and the professors understand what I'm trying to convey and what I'm telling them. So yes, sir, it gets hectic.
Yeah, yeah. So that was, I mean, that was excellent. You had the four, then you're going to school, and I think that we really, want to tell everybody too, the support system is that you have allowed you not to jump off the cliff. No, has allowed you to do the things that you needed to do, and
Yes.
that was, that's really really important when it comes to the community. When it comes to those things, is how, because because not only that, then you're homeschooling also, and of course you guys have different areas that you do it in, and then that's the support system that we had last week, that you do have. And so when they do, and I think school is starting back next week. So when they do have that, then you have an opportunity to get a little bit more focus and all of those things. So, many times that, we see different areas of our life that we trying to build, and you cannot do it alone. That's where
Oh
I
no.
want to go with that. You can't do these things alone, and it's always good. I know I'm a self me. It's just me and whatever. I don't need no, So I know that's the going thing today, but some of the things to achieve, no matter what it is, if we be truthful with ourselves, it has to be those that are around us as well, because the you have bills too. You have car breaks down. You have all of these things that er, everyone else has, and so being a covenant sometime with the Most High, it's not everything just jumps over you. You have the same thing. You have to cook. You have to do all those things in that, and then. After you finish all of that, then you have to be a wife.
Mhm.
So that's the other challenge that you have, and I'm so glad that every time that you thought about that particular question, then you can only feel that with the king that you have, right? That's in the house. So that's exciting because that's the support that you need, the one that you go to, uh, you know, when he's out working, then he comes back and tries to his best to help you in the areas that he can, and sometimes everything is just not the physical, but sometimes it's that support that you need, the encouragement, and that's part of building up. Part of power up is somewhere in our life that these can be some encouragement for people, and give us things to look at, because when it's all said and done, without the word being the foundation of these things, it could be even more difficult in what we could have, because people have done it, and maybe they had more children and done all those things, and we read about those stories and that people have done, but to see it in action is really really something that is really encouraging to me, and I know it's encouraging to others around, even if you have one, but to have the ones that you do, it says you just have to sleep in between things.
Sir, but Corey, if I can, I would love to land back off of what you said about
Sure,
community.
sure.
I
Uh-huh.
would love to, because yes, I'm so grateful you said that. This is not a self-made,
Yes, yes.
you know, how can I say, adventure. I mean, I cannot do what I'm doing without, my husband, and without you all and Mama Nana. It's just, it would be almost impossible, I mean, the sisters, I've even had the newer sisters from the assembly, oh, we can watch, Holly, just so I could take a test, sisters picking them up so that I can study throughout the day. Or I've had sisters cook for me, and it is just such a blessing, because like you said, unless you're actually in it, you really won't know. This is a family, how we try to work together to help lift each other up, because we want to see each other accomplish not just those things, but the things also that the Father have for us spiritually. And I could not do this without all of y'all. No. Because even when I'm down, or I just feel like I want to quit, there's one of the sisters, oh my goodness, one of my sisters will just, girl, you got to keep going, and if you stop now, because we get those talks, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
learning to stop doing that, because if you signed up for it, just go through it. Like, I got some of the sayings, from even y'all at the assembly on the computer, to just remind me, like, just character, stay focused, keep going. But it does take a community, and I do truly believe in that, that I have seen it and witnessed it, and try my best to be a part of it, and uphold others in the assembly as well. But without the sisters, without y'all helping, oh my goodness, and Mama Nana, there is no way. I would have been lost it. Because it's just so much to try to balance alone, and you really
Hmm.
can't alone. That you can't. You do need someone.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then I'm continue to eat on this lamb that you had lamb backed on. Is now you saying like Mama Nana. Now that's Sid's mom, right? And sometimes we use the word say, which is okay, mother-in-law, right? And how is she in your life? Because I know some don't get around, but I know she is awesome. So
Yes.
and you had how has she been a help to you?
Oh my goodness. It's me and Sid and I, even just being married when I got out the military, because Sid and I met when I was in the military. I, got out and didn't really know what we were gonna do. They took us in their home, and that's why
Hmm.
I will forever honor her and do my best, Father God, to honor her, because of the love that she's displayed throughout these 10 years of me knowing her. I mean, she was there for the birth. I mean, she practically, her and Papa, when he was here, they practically raised Malachi, because
Hmm.
we were trying to go to school. We were trying to get back on our feet and just figured the whole parenting thing out. But she has been there, I mean, through everything, all the ups, the downs. She'll pick up the baby. I mean, I've been in the hospital. If I've gotten sick, she's rushing, she's leaving
Hmm.
work. Where you at? I need to get to you. Just so sweet, just crying. Where you at, Jerica? Are you okay? And I'm like, this is okay, please. And
Yeah.
just, I mean, a genuinely kind-hearted person, sweet person. I'm just blown away by her love for people and how she serves people, even through some of the things that she's gone through, like losing her husband recently.
Hmm. Hmm.
I see her still open up her home, cooking for people. I mean, having people over, and I'm just like, wow, this is a great example of how to endure even through the trials that we go through. But an amazing woman, Sid's mother, my mama Nana. I like to say mama Nana, mama for us, and then Nana for the children. Amazing woman. She really is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
She
absolutely. And
really.
that's one of the things that when we saying that we loving one another, all of those things come about. So it's good to have the support with one another, and well as you been there for them and they there for you. That's what makes it work. That's what makes all of this work, and it's a beautiful thing. You was even saying out last week when you had that emergency. The sister, like you said, kicked in and even decided to say, hey, we'll keep them overnight. She kept Mahale overnight. Is that correct? If I got that, yeah. And so
Oh, we kept Holly, and
you
then
kept Holly.
but they kept the only ones. Yes, sir.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
it's
okay.
hard to do without
Okay,
Holly.
okay. I knew some. Yeah, I knew it was somebody. I picked on little Holly. But yeah, I knew it. So I'm just saying the things
Without
that
my Holly.
they, yeah, that that those are the things that you really need. It's not like you wasn't out there by themselves, and it's just good. It's just good to have those things, and knowing that you doing all we doing these things and the serving the things of the Father. And so when we say we want to serve Him, then that means we serve one another, and we build up one another and all of those things. And we can't do those in the times of say the times that we are in a grief point, we can be there for one another. And then the times that when we at high points, we can be in those times. So, scriptures say we laugh together, we cry together, all of those things. So, and paraphrasing there. So, and everything that we do, we want to make sure that even those that are weak, we want to make them strong, and we can do that by not so much as they overnight become strong, but if we put those things together, th- then it can be even stronger. So you get two weak people together, and they can be stronger than what they was being a weak one by themselves, right? Being a weak one by themselves. All right, in that. So we're not gonna hold you too much longer. And but let me see what else I had on here. A lot of this we probably had that already covered while you was talking. Let me get it back because while you was talking, I moved somewhere else. I had another thought. Okay, let me see. How do you stay positive and focus on your goals? How do you do that?
Hmm. Staying positive. Like I said earlier, I am in the process of practicing, like being more intentional about being positive because of, like I said, the negative mindset that I carried before. So now I make it a point when I am in a low spot, and just mentally going through a lot, as you know, just dealing with a lot of things mentally and a lot of different mental battles over the years. When I find myself there now, I try to, if it isn't Sid encouraging me, then I try to, like they would say in the military, pulling myself up by my own bootstraps, meaning I can realize, okay, this right here is not it. Like this mindset, this has to go, and so just trying to remind myself, if it be even through, like just this week, a video where the young lady was saying, just it's you got to work hard at whatever it is that you're doing. Nobody's going to do it for you. At that moment, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm sleepy and all these other things. But it's true, because I can't just give up and then, all of this work just tossed away. So I have to either pull myself up and remind myself, okay, why am I doing this? I need to finish. And that's one of the things that, honestly, that's the main motivation that's really been helping me pull out of a negative mindset, is that I want to endure. I want to be someone who can say, I endured this, I went through it, I finished it, regardless of where I was, the top, the bottom, wherever. But I want to be someone who finished what I start. I want to be someone who can endure through whatever I'm going through. And then I want to come out learning something from it. And so that's what, encourages me. It's like, okay, I look back at it. Okay, what can I learn from, just even last Sukkot? This Sukkot is going to be better, Father willing and sparing me, because I've learned from last Sukkot what I need to do better this Sukkot.
Hmm.
So, and the things that I need to have in place, but just reminding myself, I have to endure. Like, I have to be someone that just I have to finish it. And so that's
Right.
really what helps me now.
All right. I'm gonna ask you another question, and this is something that I hadn't did before. But if anybody that's in the chat, if they have a question for you, just put it in the chat, and maybe we can get that in just before we close. In that, so
Okay.
it's sort of sometimes on a delay when they hear that.
Yes,
But
sir.
the I guess the last thing, let me see. We just gonna I'm gonna cut through here. Um, let's say I did the stay positive, did the challenge. uh, hmm, did the positive. I think, well, um, that might be because a lot of it, like as you was talking, you got, so you already answered some of it, and even though I still asked it in that to stay motivated in that. So, but what I will do is let you say something that if you wanted to encourage someone before we get where all of those things is it's really been good. I'm grateful for every all of you that came on, and it's been an outstanding month, if you want to say that, or the 4 weeks that everyone has come. And it's the real life testimonies, the being in the trenches, and it's not dressed up, it's not lights, camera, action, but yet it is the life that we live, and that the how the Father gets us through it. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. I know that many of you, the story is long, and that you have in that. So it is a beautiful thing, and that's good in that. So I'll let you have the final word there, and then we'll get ready to close. In that, I was looking, the one I had. I think you kind of already answered that. So it's good.
Yes, sir. Honestly, I'm just grateful that I came on. I do appreciate you allowing me to be here, Maury, and I'm grateful for Benai. I'm very, very grateful for Benai being my family. I'm grateful for all of y'all, and I love all of y'all very much. So that's what I have. I just thank y'all for pouring in my life and being an encouragement and a light. Every single last one of y'all, I could hear y'all voice, see y'all face in my head. I'm grateful. I am very, 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 very grateful, and I'm grateful to the Most High to be on the simplest level that I can, because I don't consider myself like at all even remotely like learned in the word like that, especially now knowing the depth, and the vastness and the real treasure to be found in Torah. But the little that I am learning and I'm able to put into practice, all I can say is, Yah is awesome, for just how he pours his love out on us every day, waking us up, just being able to hear the birds chirp, see the sunrise. I just praise the Most High that He would, pour out His love on us and redeem us, and we just walking in that every day, striving to be a new person, putting to death those things that we once practiced, like that was in the scripture that you put this week, which was perfect because I literally
Yeah.
reading it before coming in here. Well, reading it earlier, and I'm just grateful. I'm very grateful, and I just hope and pray that in my lifetime to really know the Father in the way that He intends for me to know Him, and that others will know Him through me. Because that was something I just didn't understand until coming to Benai. And I know it sounds like coming to Benai, but honestly, it's just like I said, the humility of sitting down and learning. And when I really started to understand the concept, that Messiah is teaching us that it's Him in us, and working through us to others. And that's what gives us the drive to want to love each other more, to want to change. Because it's like, why would I want to hurt someone, that the Father made, and then we slip, we fall, not sinning, but I'm saying, sometimes we mean when we should have been kind, but we get a chance to go back and correct those things, the next chance, the next day. And that's why I'm so grateful. Even when He opened our eyes every single day, I'm just like, thank you, Father, because it really is another chance to try to love on someone, and try to encourage someone. So I'm just so very grateful for y'all just taking me in as family.
Oh,
I
okay. Oh,
appreciate
yeah, yeah. You was, sometimes you when you go fishing, you catch a fish, and then if he not good enough or big enough, you throw him back in. So we're gonna keep you.
it. Okay.
We
I
do.
was
Yeah,
waiting.
yeah, yeah. We do have a question for you though. But what is your favorite feast day?
My favorite feast day is, I know everybody says Sukkot, but for me it's Pesach. I love Passover and I love unleavened bread. And no, it's not because I love eating bread. It's not because I love eating bread. But for me, honestly, like that, I just, it's something about Passover and it's something about the Feast of Unleavened Bread with teaching my children, because it's in there. Like I can kind of reenact it, on the our level. So what we would used to do is like put this little red string around the door, so that they can understand this is what our people did, back in Mizraim before the Father redeemed them from Mizraim and made a way for them to get out. And just the everything tied into it and how it's related to Messiah, just it's awesome. Not saying He's not, in all the other feasts, but that one is really near to my heart. That's why this past Pesach and Unleavened Bread, I had questions. I was like, all right, some questions, and I'm sure the Father spare me the next one. I'm gonna have questions because just teaching these things to our children. That's my heart. That's my heart. I want them to know that this is where we come from. This is how we got here and what the Father did for us and redeeming us from Mizraim. It's no small thing what He did for us. So that I love Passover.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, so I think that'll be it, and I guess we'll get ready to let me. Okay, I slip back in here. Get ready to close this out, and I enjoyed just listening to you, and I enjoyed just everyone that comes. I tell you, I hate to close it out, but we must go. You probably still got a long a day in ahead of you, and
Yes.
I'm grateful for you. Thank you for everything, and just taking out time to to be, because you had a lot going on. That's when I called you again this morning to see if because I would fully understand, but in that. So I think it's gonna be anyone that will listen. I think they could be built up, and hopefully it could be in areas that their life can be enhanced, because we want to enhance their life. So
Praise
that's where you want to be. You want to be somewhere where people enhance you, and not tear you down, right?
you.
Not tear you down in that. And so, outside of the little hiccups that we do have, we can continue to build with one another. All right. All
Yeah.
right. So thank you again so very much. And
Thank
uh,
you too, Corey, for
yeah,
everything you do.
yeah. You're so welcome. All right. Shalom, shalom to the whole house of Israel. Those of you that joining us, we just appreciate you, and hopefully this is something a real good encouragement for you. And some of you just is just a reconnection of knowing that this is what has already been going on, and I'm grateful for all of you, and I am. The love of the Father really, really enriched my life through each and every one of you. All right. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.